Hi Cancer. This applies to Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising. I just want to make one thing very clear. It's good to check your rising sign the most. If you're going to try another sign to watch, try your rising sign. There might be something very significant in there for you, particularly because we've had a shift in the outer moving planets. Jupiter is now in Capricorn, joining Saturn, Pluto, Venus, and then the Sun. So there's quite a host in your partnership sector, in your marital sector, in your business partnership sector. And it's got you feeling very, very aware of your own situation regarding partnership, regarding marriage. It's got you thinking about it quite a lot. For a lot of you, this is going to be a year where you renew your vows, where you take relationships to deeper levels, where you meet your soulmate, where you leave outdated partnerships behind if they're not working, and where business-wise you possibly go into business with your partner, romantic partner. Mixing business and pleasure could be indicated. It squares off with Chiron on the 8th. And that's in your career sector though. So maybe not talking about that in December is a good idea. A lot of things get heightened around the holiday season. If you can avoid arguments, it would be recommended. King of Cups. A lot of you could be dealing with a water sign, a Scorpio, a Cancer, or a Pisces in your life straight off the bat. But this can also represent you feeling very in your own energy. Sagittarius season. It's a time, Cancer, where you get very, very wrapped up in your work. You get very focused on the job at hand. You have more ability to get things done, to make things work. But what I want to stress, Cancer, Queen of Wands. What I want to stress, Cancer, is that you have needs too. And they're emotional and they're very deep, and you're ruled by the moon and you work in phases. So making a consistent effort to be engaged with everything is quite toxic for you if you're doing it all the time. The Devil and the Ace of Cups. With Jupiter in Capricorn, people are more than ever going to be tempted by money. And that's not to say that people aren't ever tempted by money, but you're more aware of it than usual. And I think with the Devil and the Ace of Cups, over the festive season, some of you could very much, particularly in Sagittarius season, some of you could very much find yourself with a vice, whether it's drinking too much, whether it is relying for validation from external circumstances. I think a lot of Cancers have a very tricky personality in their immediate life who is quite gossipy, who is quite, and because the Devil is someone who's quite controlling. And I think because the King of Cups is here and the Queen of Wands is here, I think your energy is stronger than this person. You have a more emotional sense. Yes, you have a stronger sense of self is what I'm trying to say. But with the Queen of Wands and the Devil, I feel like somebody is either irritating you or worrying you. And I think the key here, the Hermit and the Knight of Wands, is to distance yourself from this person that is making you feel challenged all the time, at a time where you otherwise should be enjoying things very much so. Temperance and the Four of Wands. If you're dealing with a Sagittarius, I think for a lot of you, that could be a Sagittarius ex that suddenly reappears, or a Sagittarian friend. Some Sagittarius seems to be popping back into your life with some sort of communication. But I think with the Knight of Wands and the Four of Wands, that could very well be somebody in your family that is maybe isolating themselves a bit. And they want to talk to you because they know that you are emotional and you're sensitive and you understand. Look out for your siblings, particularly brothers. In business, I think you are possibly running yourself into the ground a little bit and you need some more self-care. You need to drink more water for sure. But if your health starts to take a hit in Sagittarius season, it is simply because you're not looking after your body well enough. And with that Gemini full moon exposing your deepest desires, your deepest insecurities, your subconscious, your connection with your higher self, with something bigger. It's very psychic, it's very intuitive, and I think you have a feeling about something and then I think it happens. It's kind of like deja vu. If you're dealing with a Pisces, I do think there is a strong emotional bond. But try not to be too jealous of their outside interests or their friendships this month, because I think something might trigger you a little bit. Now, for a lot of you that are traveling for the holiday season, the King of Wands, Temperance, and the Four of Wands tells me that if you're worried about it, if you're worried about a family matter, I think it gets resolved. And I think for a lot of Cancers, you feel this instant shift, this sort of reconciliation energy, this improved communication, Page of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Wands in a romantic relationship. Look at that. You have 3 aces. You have passion, you have sensitivity, you have clarity, you have honesty, you have all these tools in your belt. It would be odd if somebody wasn't admiring you, or at least offering you some sort of words, some words of support. Particularly children. Children are, as always, quite adoring of you. If you're pregnant, or if you're expecting, or if you have a very young child, it's it's so funny. Not if you're expecting, obviously, because they can't speak, but this is almost like first words. And I think for some of you, it is in a new relationship, hearing I love you for the first time, or hearing it ever. There's a lot of sweet moments with romance coming in. Venus being in your partnership sector and Jupiter is kind of sweet. And Scorpio is your pleasure sector, your romance there. And on the 13th, the day after the full moon in Gemini, Mars in your romantic sector trines Neptune in Pisces. Ooh. The Emperor, the Empress, and Justice. I'm getting well into your extended here. But for a lot of you Cancers, you find that this year you meet the one. Or as I say, there is some sort of renewing of vows or getting married or something. And I think it may be discussed around the 13th. Mars in Scorpio trining Neptune in Pisces. The Empress and the Emperor is a soulmate connection and understanding, feeling supported and feeling very lucky to have somebody romantically. Even if you don't understand what that means yet, you will, because Justice here is all about long-term energy, partnerships, commitment. For a lot of Cancers, the last 2 years in particular, 2 to 3, have been very tricky for romance. Unless you were partnered up before then, and even then there's been its challenges in distance or financially or whatever. There's been trouble in paradise in some ways. And Jupiter entering Capricorn is there to reward you for the lessons you've learned, the patience you've exerted, the forgiveness you have for yourself and for somebody else. And it looks to me, Cancer, like stability, the love, commitments, and healing that you want in a relationship is here. And I think a lot of it comes out around the full moon, and I think a lot of it is to do with you maybe realizing that there has been a subconscious pattern that you maybe didn't take responsibility for, and as soon as you did, you see that everything changed. Because when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. That is a mantra to live by. in December. Because things are really shifting in your favor, even if you feel like they're not just yet. But I think you have a feeling. King of Cups here is you very much in your own element. And even the people that are challenging you, the people that are challenging you the most, are a little bit scared of you. And I know you maybe think that that is unlikely because you guys think, I'm a Cancer, I'm so soft, I'm so sweet. But you are a crab. People don't always see you for who you are, and you guys can nip. And with the testy planetary activity this year, I can see why you nipped. And I can see why your relationships transformed. And I can see why your business dealings transformed. And I can see why you transformed. Some aspect of yourself has been revamped, and along with it comes some major upgrades. And I think if you are finding a new business partner this month, particularly towards the end, even if it's someone you already know, even if it's someone you're linked with, I think it's good to start talking about it. The Empress and the Emperor always work well together. And justice is that legality, that contract, that bind that goes beyond pure emotion, which you have. Something gets finalized, something gets decided. A lot of people fear you, but they respect you. A lot of people can be angry with you, but still love you. You know what I mean? And even the people that are angry with you will talk to you again. Even if at some point this month you maybe feel like they won't. Temperance is here to add healing and clarity to any situation that feels a little bit confusing. It's looking very beautiful, particularly for those of you that want something that is a landmark in life. You know, be it a house, be it a baby, be it a business venture, be it something tangible that you can look at and say on your deathbed that mattered. You know what I mean? But it requires accepting that you grew from having your life tipped upside down at one point, doesn't it? You're quite tenacious, Cancer, I'll give you that. It's impressive. But just because you know your sweetness and light on the inside doesn't mean everybody else does. If somebody's jealous of you, it's because they're threatened by you. If someone's angry at you, it's because they care. Deep down, they care. They might not know it. You might not know it. But I think a lot of people care in December. I will see you in the extended Cancers. I love you very, 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 very much. Take care. Bye.